Welcome to the Fan Awakens. We are back. It's been a long time, but better late than never. I'm Eli. I'm with my guy Parade.
What
It's been some months, but we're back to finish to complete what we started.
up?
Andor episode 12 review. How's it going, man?
It's going really good, man. I'm so glad we're able to come back and finish what we started so many light years ago.
Long have I waited. So it's all coming to a head here, and this is almost symbolic. The way I see it. Andor, it came out, I think it ended in November, something like that. Maybe
Yeah, yeah,
before that. Um and I think the show's gonna have great legs. And so this is just symbolic of that show lasting the test of time. Because here
yeah,
we are, like half a year later, we're ready to complete the 12th episode review. But
yeah, for sure.
there's a lot of things coming up. I just want to touch on a few things real quick. At the time we're recording this, and it will be up today, Celebration is happening in a week, which is
Mhm.
exciting. I know I was previously planning on going. I'm not anymore, but still going to be making videos. Hopefully, Parade and I are still going to be doing our thing, talking about all these
Oh yeah,
news tidbits that are coming out. Still got friends who are going, so hopefully we still got some inside info.
yeah,
But be on the lookout for that.
yeah. Definitely. It's gonna be a wild one. I predict. We just had a small conversation predicting movies. We'll probably get some new TV shows also announced. It's gonna be a wild celebration, I think, more so than last year. Especially there's not gonna be one next year.
Yeah,
So
which is good for my bank account because now I can save for 2025.
now we
Um,
can
it's
plan.
not
Now we
like
can
here's celebration, and then guess what? In 9 months, you got to go to London. I'm like, we'll see.
maybe the States. Hopefully it'll be uh
Orlando maybe again.
Orlando or what was it, Chicago? One of the
I
two.
would love if they put it in Chicago again. I'm just thinking like I know they've been going on this path of
Right.
L.A., London, Orlando, Chicago, back to L.A., back to
Yeah.
London. So if it's Orlando, fine. I would much rather be in Chicago though.
I
Chicago is
wanna go to Orlando just to see Batu East and
That's
then
true.
see who can afford going on the Halcyon. You know what I mean?
Not this guy. We're gonna you and me and like four other people can go in together and like share a bed, and we'll just
Yeah.
like every like 4 hours we'll swap out. We're like, no, same guy. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
But no, it's awesome though. I mean, I don't know what the prices are going for now.
For
Um,
what?
for
For
the
Halcyon?
house, yeah.
I don't think it's shifted down yet, but hopefully with Bob Iger there, it will. It will.
Hopefully, yeah, yeah.
'Cause
But
I think they've had issues with scheduling it out. But
I know. So hopefully, maybe there's like I don't know. What if they throw that in the hotel block? It's like get it for 15% off. I don't know.
dude, I think people would jump on it. I mean,
I agree.
15% of 3,000 or 6,000 or whatever it
Big deal,
is
yeah.
it's still a big chunk of change.
Down
So
payment on a Honda Civic. But
mini parade joining us too. Sleepy baby.
Sleepy Mini
Sleepy
Parade.
Grogu. My sleepy Grogu over here. Um all right. In review fashion, Eli,
Yeah.
what are you rating this episode? The last episode of Andor. I wrote mine down so I didn't forget.
Darn it. I should have known.
I was gonna tell you earlier that I was gonna ask you. I was like, I love
Should have
watching you
known.
suffer. Can I tell you mine while you
Yes,
think?
you can.
I put it down as a 9.5. And watching our I rewatched our last pod just to
Yeah.
kind of refresh where our minds were at. We kind of gotten a good um we got our dinner scene. We talked about
We
that. This
did.
is gonna be our dinner of the Andor that we're expecting. All the characters are gathering at this metaphorical table, this last supper, and it 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 slowly rises to the precipice of Marva's speech,
Yeah.
and it just exploding, right? Literally exploding. And I feel pretty satisfied as this is the closing. I'm not going to give it a 10. I don't think it's a perfect episode. I think there are episodes that I like probably a little bit better, but for it to end the way it ends, and I was satisfied, and I'm looking forward to season two when we get that. So
I
9.5.
Agree. I will also give it a 9.5.
Yeah,
I was thinking 9.5. When you said 9.5, I'm like, I can't give it the illustrious 10 because it's so hard to deem something as perfect, even
right.
if it can be something can be imperfect but still perfect in my eyes. But I'll
Mm.
give it a 9.5 as well. I think that it was capstoned by another fantastic speech, which this series has been giving us, just constantly. Oh, you need a great Star Wars speech? Bam, there you go. You need another one? Bam. Sometimes they give us two in an episode.
This
Um,
one actually has like 2.5.
yeah,
So Nemec's manifesto,
exactly. And that's, yeah.
Marva's speech, and then to a certain extent, Brasso talking to Cassian in the tunnels of what Marva says. And I pulled them all up if we have to reference them. They're very long. I'm not going to
They
reread
are.
them, but excellent motive. Like these are good. Like if you need morning affirmations before you start your day at work, some of these are pretty good. Some of these are pretty
They
solid.
have, and the great thing about this episode is it, I just rewatched it last night again.
Mm.
It just pulls out so much emotion from me. There's things that make me just want to rip my eyeballs out, like with the Cyril and Danger stuff. I'm like, no, but but it's
Yeah, I
like
can't wait
it's
to talk
good
about that.
because it elicits emotion out of me, and I think that yeah, everything kind of strings together. It comes to, like you said, the Last Supper here, on Ferrix, um, but I just thought it was very good. It's very, very good. I think that it cements this season alone as no matter what happens in season two. I know that it's going to be a lot different as far as the structure of it and the time that it spans,
Yeah.
but um, this is one of the best Star Wars things I think we've ever had. I think that this is a series that's going to last a long time. It's something where in 20 years, if someone's like, "Oh, you haven't watched the Star Wars stuff," Andor is going to be one of those things that you like. It's like necessary viewing. It's amazing. Um,
Yeah, I think it's actually unappreciated right now.
I agree.
A lot of people still are sleeping on it. I even was checking the Emmy nods, but
Yeah,
I think it falls into 2023
dude.
and not 2022.
Yeah, it's weird how those things shake out, but
Yeah, because I was like,
like when the
they didn't win
cutoffs.
anything. I
I
was like, I
know,
was kind of
but
pissed off, but I looked at it, I was like, hopefully it just falls into 2023, but I don't know how that works. But I was
it's
like,
true
these award shows don't mean anything anyway.
because I have friends and people I talk to and things who like aren't big Star Wars fans or they just aren't like keeping up with everything, which is totally understandable. But a lot of them gravitate, understandably, first to Kenobi, because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just if you're looking at like, oh, I kind of like Star Wars, I want to watch something. Oh, there's an Obi-Wan show or an Andor show. I'm gonna watch Obi-Wan, um,
Right.
and that's great. And I've actually been meeting and talking to friends and things who really liked Obi-Wan, which great. But I'm like, if you thought Obi-Wan is good,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
need
yeah.
to watch Andor because it's gonna be the best thing you've ever seen.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah, I have a friend, I think I mentioned him to you that I told him, I was like, I know you're not into Star Wars, but it's just a good show. And so I'm curious when he actually finishes.
yeah,
I want to see what his thoughts are on the show as a non-Star Wars fan.
actually,
So,
yeah, I'm interested in that as well.
because I was worried about like the Mon Mothma stuff not hitting as well because like we have a history, but at the same time, it's still just really good. It's just a really good arc with a politician in this world.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
So,
Mon Mothma had a little bit of time in this, but
that's
I thought it was well used. I thought she was finally showing some cunning and some resourcefulness on how to not finally, but like she was finally playing some offense here a little bit, like you know,
yeah.
uh, taking
We'll get to
advantage of
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah,
to it,
yeah.
but I think that this show was hopefully everyone in this show gets more roles and more work, and I thought that everybody's so good. And now that Mandalorian's playing, I'm loving this season of The Mandalorian. I'm a sucker. I don't care. I think it's great. um but they're so distinctly different, and I think that's a good thing. I love Andor.
Yeah, yeah, the show definitely stands apart. It feels like, when it comes to, like, MCU stuff, I feel like this is, like, the Winter Soldier
Yeah,
of Star
that's a
Wars right now.
great way of putting it. Yeah,
And, I hope in the future we do, like, some type of rankings of, like, all the Star Wars movies,
everything.
cinema, everything.
Caravan of yeah.
Yeah, like our personal rankings, but just spoiler alert, this is the top of of movies and everything for anything for me for Star Wars, just because the storytelling, the acting,
Oh, you say it's number one?
number one over the originals, over the animated shows,
Hot
number
takes,
one.
hot takes, hot takes.
I think we can discuss it. We'll discuss it at a future time, but
You
I
almost,
can't.
I almost fell out of my chair for a second. And
I
I don't think it's outlandish. I don't think that's crazy,
no, no,
which
no.
is crazy to say. But
Yeah. But just
man,
the caliber of acting we're getting, the
yeah,
caliber of storytelling we're getting, and there's no lightsabers,
yeah.
no
Which
force. I know of. So
it's yeah, it's so good. But getting into this episode,
um,
oh my gosh,
I think though on that note, I think Andor's people are going to revisit it
yeah,
in the future, and they're going to be like, "Oh man, the show is really really good."
I think so
Because for
too.
me, the first three don't hit as well. It sets up the world, but I think people are gonna get past that point and be like, "Oh wow, the show is far and above better than most."
Yeah.
So
No, it's something special. It's I think that it's gonna have incredible legs, not just like immediately, but I mean years down the line. I think it's still gonna be something that the show's gonna hold up. It's not like they're shooting in pretty practical sets and things. It's not like
yeah,
yeah, I think this thing is gonna hold up incredibly well. People are gonna be showing their kids this in 20, 30, whatever years, and I think it's still gonna hold up. It'll probably still be relevant in some, multiple ways, but I have nothing. I have nothing that because when I'm watching The Mandalorian right now, I'm like, man, I love this show. It makes me so happy. But then when I was rewatching Andor, it's just crazy that Mandalorian gives me this like internal, just this great feeling of joy.
mm.
But Andor, it hurts me, and I love it.
Dude, yeah, just keep hurting me, Cassie. Keep hurting.
Yeah,
Anakin, you're breaking my heart. Keep doing that. Keep doing that for sure. All right, you want to do the scene by scene? I got a couple notes
yeah.
here.
Let's roll.
Okay, so it opens with Wilman, the son of Salmon from Ferrix,
Yep.
building his like detonator that
Yeah.
we'll eventually see, which is kind of cool. Is like he has his little hologram of his dad there, reminding him why he's doing it. So sad.
It's
Even
very
how
sad. Yeah.
dad went out too, just kind of like Bix being tortured or whatever.
And that's
Um,
something, yeah, exactly. We don't get these things from Star Wars typically. I mean, it's like making a pipe bomb essentially
yeah,
to detonate at a town square, and it's like his fallen father, and like we have the torture thing going on, and yeah,
yeah,
it's dark stuff. But I do think that it again just sets us into the how deeply the Empire is has hurt people
yeah.
beyond just they're bad and we're good.
Yeah, the oppression there. I mean, even we'd see, and we constantly see it throughout the show. So
Yeah.
we're on. I mean, having a pipe bomb is more of a terroristic thing, but we're on his side about it, right?
Yep.
Um, Dedra arrives on Ferrix with Death Troopers.
She
So we
does.
get Death Troopers like in Rogue One, which is a pretty big deal, bringing Death Troopers with you. Um, and we again see Bix in prison again, in her cell. Um, let's see. This is Dedra visits the Imperials. She's like, "Oh, I want to go walk around town," and when we see her walking around town, Sintra gets eyes on her.
Yeah.
Uh, Notices that there's ISB is here, higher up. Um, and then is it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, so it was the last episode where Cassian gets notified his mom's died. So we see Brasso and Zan talking,
Yeah.
and Narucci watching them from the wings. We're figuring out that he's a little spy boy for the imps, um,
Yeah.
which is like ah.
I know.
But what a scene! Even him and Zan at the bar, and like he sees it like Zan like getting eaten up inside about having some knowledge about Cassian being there, and he's
Yep.
like, "Bruv, whatever you know, I don't want to know.
Yeah,
Don't even tell
don't
me.
even
Keep
tell
it
me. Yeah.
yourself."
Keep me in the dark.
Playing that dude like a little fiddle.
Yeah.
Playing that dude like a fiddle.
Yeah, it's that yeah, I just love the way they set this whole I mean the whole episode is just and really the whole series. It's just so like glum and I mean this episode, obviously things come together and there's a lot that goes down, but they said it very well. You know, it feels like, it's a funeral that we're leading into essentially, and uh, all these threads. You have Cinta who's yeah, keeping tabs. Been He's been playing a little spy game here.
Okay.
And when oh my gosh, oh my
Vel,
gosh, no, not Vel. Uh,
thinking of
Daedra. When she
Daedra.
comes in with the Death Troopers, it's she's ready. She's ready, but again, she's definitely distracted because of the shortcomings or whatever you want to call it of the mission with Anto Krieger. She wanted them alive, and
Oh,
I
right,
think
right.
with that mission, we find out that they took them all out,
We
and
got them all.
so we
We
got
got
them
them
all.
all. It was funny because in the last pod, I said like, oh, they're gonna be celebrating, like popping bottles, and you know
Yeah,
what I mean. We did it. Like we took out the rebellion, kind of thing.
we saved the galaxy.
Yeah, yeah. The galaxy is saved. The empire can thrive again. Which goes into Luthen's, ideology about like, yeah, well, gotta crack a few eggs, right?
Yep,
To save the greater. Um, but yeah, for them to not get a prisoner is stupid. So it's
it
just the
was
hubris,
stupid.
again, showing the hubris of the empire.
And then I
Um,
think that ultimately, threw off Daedra, and like she's obsessed with a lot of things, but uh,
yeah,
it was just they show so much of the empire that I love that they show their hubris as it's been a constant theme since the beginning, um,
yeah,
but also they're incredibly cruel. Um, they often don't show remorse, but also them like sometimes they're overzealous, and these things lead to some gross oversight. With the whole Ferrex thing, they should have been able to nip that before what eventually happens. But
yeah. Oh, it's even great because they're like, yeah, 30 members, maybe 40.
yeah, it's like maybe 40. They got a marching band. They brought people in from another system base. It's like they got
Like the whole town is there.
the whole
Uh,
town.
so I think it cuts to Mon. Um, Interesting, like unclipping her coat
Yeah,
and opening it up and just like trying to breathe, right? Um, and then she confronts Perrin. I was like, very smart of you, Mon. To
yeah.
You're gambling again, bro.
I
You
love
don't
that
even lie
scene.
to me. Don't even lie to me. And then the driver, we get confirmation that the driver has been listening in or can listen and eavesdrop
Yep.
into the conversation, Cloris. And then speaking of the ISB, he's reporting to Blevins
Yeah.
about the conversation. So I was like, okay, that's our thread that they're actually watching him, and I think to Mon's this is successful, right?
Yeah.
Blaming her husband.
Which is great. I think that finally we get Mon, and like I said earlier, kind of playing some offense, using her mind and using some cunning to throw them off the path because most of it has just been panic. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
sell my daughter off just to get out of this like terrible situation, which also still may be happening. But
No, it's
yeah,
definitely
it's
happening.
definitely happening. But like, it's just nice to see that finally Mon Mothma's although it seemed fairly frantic, she pulled off a nice maneuver there. With her husband is like, "What are you talking about? Like, I'm not gambling." And, like, you're just,
Oh, and to drop the Canto Bite as
yep,
well.
drop of Canto Bite.
Canto
Um,
Bite. That's where all the fun and partying happen. Well, if it happens in Canto Bite, it stays in Canto.
Apparently not because those bank statements are saying otherwise. But
Yeah, the banks are saying otherwise.
yeah, but I thought that she was in the episode briefly. But always impactful, always impactful. She's Genevieve O'Reilly is amazing. I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of like job she has lined up, but she should definitely be getting more roles from this alone. She's great.
Yeah, maybe in Ahsoka.
Uh, wait, it's
Oh no, that's post rebellion, huh? Well, she can
yeah,
still be around. She can still be around
yeah,
because the rebellion's over. We don't know. We haven't confirmed if she's dead or alive, and so if they're building up to the resistance, Mothma could still be part of that. Mon could
I
still
hope
be
so.
part of that.
Sure.
I want to see more of Genevieve. Oh, well, and then even season
Yeah,
two of
season
Andor.
2, she'll be there. She'll be there.
Oh, well,
Um,
no. Oh,
hope
unless she takes blood. No, she's not gonna die. She can't
hopefully
die. I
we
was
see. Yeah, like
like,
oops, we accidentally killed Mon Mothma. Uh, get a
in Star
twin?
Wars, no one ever dies.
No, no, yeah.
No. Oh, what
Um,
was also funny is our predictions that Marvel was still alive,
yeah,
which didn't happen.
no,
So thank
he's done.
you. Because it would be weird, really weird to backpedal all that back and be like, oh, she's actually alive still. But I think it was. I think we were right about like just having the actress die on screen is just not really necessary.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
like her
agree.
and Kathy had the moment, and he had his moments, so not necessary to show her death. And then with the with when we get to the part where she's giving her speech, like how impactful that is as her send off. Um, One thing I really like too that shows up in this episode is Cassian going back to his stepfather's stone, Clem.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was great. And they have a flashback
Mhm.
moment. Yeah, I thought it was really impactful too.
I didn't catch the first time I watched it though. He says, "A man who sees everything is more blessed than cursed." And then they start talking about the part that you just clean it and it's still working, which also
Yes.
has a thematic, like getting the dirt off, getting the rust off, and actually still having a working part, right? Like very reminiscent to what we see how Cassian's growth is in the show. But even just mentioning um, a man who sees everything, Cassian's one of his biggest strengths of his character is perception and be able to clock things and notice things that people don't notice to his advantage. So I don't have that because I didn't get that the first time around. So
We are not. I am not Andor.
yeah, I'm not a tourist. I'm a tourist. So I really like that nod. And even just any flashbacks to his step parents is really cool. I would like to know a little bit more of their history. I think those moments are very impactful in this show.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought that we were gonna ultimately learn more about Clem and his mom's backstory, Marva's backstory. I thought we were gonna learn a little more, which is fine. I think there's still time to, if they want to, but we really don't need to. But I did think that we would learn, like, are they? I don't know. Direct thing. I thought we might have seen something that they had done previously. Uh, in the name of, I was like, is Marva a rebel? I don't know. I was still wondering, like, does she have any sort of affiliation contact? It doesn't seem so, but she is a rebel, whether she likes to call herself that or not. And I think that it ties into, like, when they're playing the manifesto uh over, like, before the speech, when they're
Yeah.
playing, it all kind of blends in together, speech to speech. He's like, sometimes, what does he say? Basically, it's spontaneous. Oh my gosh! In the manifesto, he's like spontaneous rebellion, or
Yeah, let me look it up.
yeah, I think I have it right here too.
um, yeah, because it's quite a
Something.
long.
It is a long speech.
It is a long speech. I'm trying to find the part that you were thinking of. Is it towards the end?
Yeah. Where is it?
Um,
Either way, though, yeah, I thought it was great, to have another flashback with Clem that, again, talks about Cassian's growth. I know that this series is called Andor, but it's shared between a lot of characters.
mhm.
But it was definitely a moment where you get to see Cassian's growth really come to a head. He goes all the way and comes to his mother's funeral, but he's not even necessarily at the funeral. He's
Oh, that's
making up for,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know, I mean, they show him he's up in that little tower in the roof, and
yeah,
he's using his
yeah.
binoculars and he's watching. But the funeral he essentially uses as a cover to go save Bix. So he's not necessarily watching his mom's service. He's
That's true.
making up for he's doing what she would have wanted him to do,
Yeah,
which is yeah, rebel, um, which I thought was
yeah.
great.
No, for sure. Because well, even before that, it's the scene. One of the scenes is with Brasso and Cassian
In
meeting in the
the
tunnel.
Yeah, in the tunnel.
And dude, I love this scene. I love the line he gives him. I have it right here, pulling it up about what his mom said to him last. which was, and this one's short enough. Tell him none of this is his fault. It was already burning. He's just the first spark of the fire, right? Light the
Yeah.
spark, light the spark. He knows everything he needs to know and feels everything he needs to feel. And when the day comes, those two pull together, he will be an unstoppable force for good. Tell him I love him more than anything he could ever do wrong.
Gotta love a mother's love, you know. Nothing like a mother's love, but she's you know, she sees the best in Cassian,
Mhm.
and she sees what I mean, he really it's her that's sparking this rebellion, but I mean, he sparked it. She's flaming the fire, you know. You're right. She sparked it. Um she's definitely throwing some lighter fluid in it when we get to that speech, but ultimately
Yeah.
it's crazy because, you know, it's Brasso's speech, but it's almost a companion piece to Marva's speech in the end because it's her words again. You know, she's a great character who I'd love to explore more in like a book or a comic, even
Oh
if it never comes into play, like directly into the movies or shows. I think that it's just she seems to have had an interesting life that I think we could definitely mine from. I would love that.
I think we'll see more flashbacks of them.
I hope so.
I mean,
I
I
think so
don't.
too because I think the sister thread will come back in season 2 at some
It
point.
has to, man. It was the
Yeah,
beginning of the season, and they just kind of left it dangling there. They said, "Oh, she's dead," but I'm like, "Come on,
I
come
remember I
on."
was like, nah, she's dead. Don't
Yeah, yeah.
worry. Like she's
It's like,
dead.
come on. And I mean, you're right. Right now, you're right. Like end of the season, I was like expecting something from a sibling, but I'm like, you can't put a man on a path and start that and like would never address it. That's very weird. To me, that's very Star Wars, but
It is very
it's
Star
very
Wars. Like he's like literally opened the series. Where's my sister? And then
yeah.
it's like she's dead, bro. She's dead.
I mean, even just have some kind of confirmation.
It. Yeah, yeah. Just to
Um,
see it.
but
Even
yeah,
if you know this is a random reference, but I
yeah,
think back to like I don't know if you ever played Gears of War 2,
I have. I
but
played them all.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
not all.
So
The ones on Xbox
yeah,
360. The ones that matter.
yeah, basically. But you know, with was it Dom when he's looking for his wife? Like, if we get
Yeah.
something like that in Andor, that would be heartbreaking in the best way because I mean, if he finds her and it's already, you know, she is dead, but I don't know. I think that Cassian's had a lot of heartbreak. What's a
Yeah.
little more?
To me, that's a bridge too far, man. Let her live.
What's a little more? Give me a little more heartbreak. But I think it has to be explored. I think that they're too good at writing to let that slip away. Um,
Yeah. I don't think Totally Gilroy's like, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember when I wrote. That was a long time ago.
yeah, like it was such a big focus of the first like 3 episodes,
Yeah.
episode or two that it started it all. It started it all. He killed the 2 officers, you know, looking for his
Right,
sister.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
you're right. It 100% has to come back.
Yeah.
But
Curious where she is, but yet to be seen. We'll see in season 2. Um, so at this point, the anvil's clanging off. Everyone's like, "What's that? What's that noise?" Which is interesting because I'm like, did no one know the schedule, or did the Imperials not know the?
yeah, I'm like they've
the
been here a little bit. they they got their AirPods in. They got the noise cancellation on.
This would be me. This would be me. Like, all right, we're gonna tell them 4 p.m., but we're doing it at 2:30. It's gonna throw this whole mess.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
a
throw them
great
off.
idea. Also, do they got look? Do they have watches and clocks and stuff? Is that something in their heads-up display? Because could they just change the times when they start banging on the drums to say, "Oh, it's like say they normally bang on the drums at 6 a.m. and they just do
Yeah,
it at 4 instead, and then throw the whole world clock off." You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like, if they keep track of time, in the same way in our, in our
who needs
universe.
time?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just um,
But yeah, we see Cassian hiding in the building,
yeah.
and I'm trying to remember if there was any nods to the breeze because he feels a breeze, right? There's a moment, and I feel like it's like a very Marva Cassian like moment where the
Connection,
breeze.
yeah.
But I'm trying to remember if they did anything like that in Rogue One or in previous episodes.
I don't
But
remember it being. I watched Rogue One pretty recently. I don't remember anything
okay,
like that
okay.
necessarily. I'm trying to think when they're. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing comes up to mind immediately,
Yeah, nothing to me either. But
but
it was definitely a moment for him.
yeah,
But I don't it was like recalling from something previously. Um, but yeah, the band starts prepping the music, and it's a reveal that it's the Andor theme, which is really
yeah,
cool. Um, Nicholas Bertel, awesome soundtrack. What and I love the point that you made, Andor not just being Cassian, but being Clan, being Marva,
yeah,
being anyone who's related to the family. So great point. I never thought about that, but that's the theme of the show. That's the heart of this show. This Andor family
yeah.
bittersweet reunion here.
It was
Uh,
very sweet. And with I mean, even with this all coming together, as the parade starting, the funeral proceedings and whatnot, we we get um, everybody's there. Everybody's there. Vela's there, Cinta's there,
yeah,
Beast is being tortured there. Obviously, Candor's back. Candor, who's that? Andor's back home.
yeah,
Um, but Luthen shows up, and obviously Luthen's there, to take Andor out. We presume here. But the thing is, like, he's like, I'm gonna linger, in typical Luthen fashion. Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
linger out, kind of in the background. I am not trying to. It feels like he. I don't know. He sees things that may not, you know, go as smoothly as anyone expects, and he kind of talks about it when he's talking about. He's like, "This is a good thing." That I love that when he's like, "It's great that she's there." She
yeah,
can hunt him down for us, and then we can just. Um,
yeah. When he's talking to Vel about, they're like, "Oh, ISB's here," and he's like, "Oh, the woman, that woman," and she's like, "Yeah, you know her already." Like, yeah, Luthen knows everything.
He
Like,
knows, yeah. He's just that guy is a step ahead, always a step and a half ahead. It seems, even when he's not, he is like, with that giant imperial vessel, that drew him in. He was always ready.
yeah.
Um, but then we have Cyril there because he got tipped off by his friend, and
We also predicted Mosk wasn't going to be in this. Not necessary, but I think him being there adds a little bit.
yeah,
Um, but cool to see them both. Not like a super big role. Um,
uh,
but we'll get to that
yeah,
part
we'll get
too.
to that part. But
Favorite part of the episode. um, the we also get a scene where Naruchi goes to the ISB spy. I wrote his name down. I can't really find it in my notes. But
yeah,
he's like, I need you to double my reward and pretend like I'm getting arrested, which
oh
puts him in
yeah,
some on that side. Casting, I don't. Someone clocks that. I can't remember who. Oh, is it Cyril or Luthen? Someone
yeah,
clocks. But uh, let's see, Cyril and Mosca, they're right in front of Luthen. So
yep.
Luthen, I'm not going to use my voice so that this guy doesn't.
keep it on the.
we joked about it last time about I said Luthen was going to bump into somebody, and
Hey,
Cyril's
hey.
oh excuse me.
He's like, all of a sudden he has a much lighter voice. Hey guys,
Yeah. Oh sorry.
sorry mate. He just walks by.
um
I
and
remember that. I'm so sorry. It just popped up again. I love that idea though. That I think you were the one that brought it up though. Of like Luthen maybe I don't Luthen giving himself up by his voice. Like
yeah, voice cool because it was such a big point in like a couple episodes prior where he's like, I know his voice. If I heard his voice again,
yeah
I'd be able to pick him out of the crowd, kind of thing. So I thought there was going to be something like that, which is a nice little red herring because it doesn't happen.
yeah
Um,
it doesn't.
anyway. But this is where Cyril catches sight of Dedra, and he like starts moving forward, and Moscow's like whoa whoa whoa, and he goes, it's her, she's here, like he's so happy to see her.
Oh man.
And then the music shifts, and we see they're meeting on Rick's road.
Yeah.
Um, the Imperials on one side and Ferrex on the other, and then they start kind of like charging in a little bit faster. And he's like, Tico's like, get them in there, put a perimeter, like stop them from getting too
You know
close,
what?
kind of.
Daedra called off the snipers, right? Because they were trying to get
Yeah,
Andor in clean. They didn't want to. No, just like this goes into the Empire, like the
good
core
idea,
issues.
good idea, but bad idea, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
We don't need snipers. You guys probably could have used a couple of snipers.
a couple.
Um, And then, well, again, they're hubris. They think they have a stranglehold on this
Yep,
town, and they don't. They actually don't.
they don't,
Um,
and maybe they did, but Marva peels the fingers away with one final trick, of course. But
right, right.
um,
um, there's a little bit of interstitial with going back to Bix and the Death Troopers searching that building. Oh, because they were like, "Oh, he's over
Yeah, he's
there."
up there. Yeah, he's
They know where he's at. I think Narucci saw him up
yep.
there, so
You ratted him.
they're sending people over there. So he cut out. Um, and another thing I didn't notice is the chant, the stone and sky, stone and sky. Part of their ritual, which is cool. I like that.
It is cool.
Um,
It's great world building. I
yeah,
think that Barracks is one of the nicest, like not nicest, it's nice, but it's just a like one of the most lived in, genuine. I know we've said it a million times, but just feels like such a real place. Um,
yeah. More so than like a Tatooine. Like
yep,
everyone's kind of on the same page. It's more of a community where
yep,
Tatooine is kind of like scum and villainy, and people are just kind of going through there, just like whatever. Like it's like a trade route kind of thing.
yep.
Where this one feels like everyone kind of knows everyone. I mean, even Cassian going into the kitchen, pulling the gun on the guy, and he's like Cass, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Chernik or whatever." Like they
Yeah,
know each other.
yeah.
Uh,
Everybody
so that
knows
was
each other.
the Stone and Sky thing is interesting because Bix is also repeating it, so her mind is not fully gone. Which
Yeah,
again, the community thing, she's still a part of it. They're they're still looking out for her as best they
she's a
can.
fighter, man. I think. Oh man, she's a fighter. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was there's some tough scenes to watch, but and ultimately with Bix, Cassian was up there, and when they went to go flush him out and find him, he obviously used that opportunity to go try and infiltrate and save Bix, which is just great seeing Cassian, having a moment of redemption in some way, because he is largely responsible for. I mean, you can't put it all on him because the Empire is the Empire, but
right,
he's responsible for a lot, a lot of this happening here, and whether it's fair or not, um, it was definitely his responsibility to try and get Bix out of there. And I don't remember how I predicted it going exactly, but I do think that I thought Bix was gonna die.
yes.
Um,
I have our list of
of
deaths
the
and
yeah,
the deaths and survivors we'll go back to.
yeah,
But yeah, we both predicted Bix was not going to make it out of this episode alive,
and
but she
there
did.
she did, and I thought there was 2 points where she might not, but she did. Um,
What was the first point that you thought she was going to die?
So there was just a point where, when he was going in there to save her, I thought there was a chance that they wouldn't get out.
Oh,
But ultimately, the second point I'll just say real quick is when they were all loading up into the ship, and when Cassian didn't get in the ship, I was like, oh no, they're gonna get shot down or something. I was
dude,
like,
yeah.
oh no! As soon as he didn't get in there, I'm like, no, please.
I'll jump to that part. I really thought they were all going to get blasted out of the air,
Same.
and I was like, ooh,
Which
because it's
is,
like all these characters that we don't know the fates of,
I
and I'm like,
know. And
hmm.
like it's so typical that like the main character wouldn't get in when like everything says he should, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh no, oh no, I was like
That
sick,
to me, I was like, you guys are sick. Tony Goroy, you're sick.
but
No, but it's a
ultimately I'm okay with it. But I was like, I was set. I was like, nope, that's it. And even when they're showing it, I'm like, no, how far are they gonna make it? But
Are they like, oh, they're safe, they're safe, they're safe? Just kind of like another Rise of Skywalker. Chewie
oh my gosh, yeah.
blasting in the
So
sky.
funny. That yeah, and I'll feel that way every time I watch it because I know in Rise of Skywalker I've seen it quite a bit, and even
Yeah,
though I know Chewie obviously doesn't die, every time I'm like, oh, I get sad, but it still makes me feel like Chewie. It's the emotion of the actors, but
sure. But
uh
this is where we get the speech.
we do, and what a
Speech.
speech it is.
What a
Um,
speech, man.
And it's so great because it seems like they don't know what to do either. The Empire, the Imperials, the soldiers, they're watching the speech too. Like what?
They're
30
like,
foot
yeah, she
tall
has good
Marvel.
points.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah, we are kind of a bunch of a-holes, aren't we?
You know what? Do you think that there's ever a situation we could see where, um, and maybe it's in the future of Andor, who knows, where there is something that turns the Imperial soldiers or like a group of them, um, I know we've seen Imperial soldiers, change obviously in like
Yeah,
one or two of them. here and there, but I'm talking like a a squad, like a battalion. I don't know how you describe these amounts of troopers, but like in episode 9 again, when the Finn's talking to Jana, and she's like, we all put our guns down all together, and we all
Oh,
all gave it up at once and defected. I don't know, but just knowing that a lot of the Empire's recruitment is propaganda based, um,
right.
I do think
I
that
don't know
there
how.
could
I
be,
mean, it would have to be in the right situation
yeah,
because I can see kind of be kind of corny.
of course,
Um, but I mean, we've had like like pretty big moments of people leaving the Empire.
yeah, we
Um,
have,
uh, like um, Ad Verso and Infernal
yep,
Squadron for Battlefront is one of my favorite ones. Wedge, I think, was Imperial,
Wedge,
or
yep,
so there's quite a few.
there are.
Um,
I don't know. I think I'd like to see it on a bigger scale, sometime, but
yeah,
just like a whole section of them. But
yeah,
the speech itself is it's fantastic. We had this. I mean, Marva literally got one more hit in on the Empire thanks to Brasso. And I know that I've heard that she says fight the Empire, but she's,
didn't say that. They had that out.
no,
Disney.
which is
They're like, "We
awesome.
wonder if we can get," like, I wanted Tony's like, let's do it this way. I wonder if we could slip it in, but this is on Disney Plus.
But the good thing is we all know, like we
I
all know,
wonder if they re-air it on like Hulu or another channel
dude.
or something. I wonder if it's different.
That would be so funny if they're like, and here's the Marva cut, and it's just one word different
Yeah.
the whole series.
It's a Greedo George Lucas change.
Yep.
Like, the next
And it's like Andor, all 12 episodes, the Marva cut, and literally it's a carbon copy, same thing, just
is that
one
that
other
little point,
word.
the black and white Snyder version.
Yeah, in the like different format, full screen format. But yeah, I mean, it was great seeing Brasso. I'm like, oh, he's gonna die. He didn't.
Oh, thank
I,
goodness.
I'm like, he's definitely gonna die. I thought for certain.
I didn't actually think he was gonna die in that scene. That didn't occur to me
I
when
was
on
just
first.
nervous. Like, he's in the middle of this thing. He hits first there. He smacks him upside the head. He's in a very vulnerable position, but he didn't, which was great.
Yeah.
Um, there was significantly less death than expected for me, which isn't a bad thing. We still have a lot of time. Uh,
Yeah.
but obviously, once that speech goes down, things hit the fan, and it's
Yeah.
chaos. And
And, like Tigo tries to cover it and gets half, and then
yeah,
gets really upset, and then like pushes
oh my gosh,
you over.
and that's when they're like, nope, we hit our droid.
You kick. I mean, it's essentially kicking their dog, right?
It is.
Yeah. And so
Goes
my
John Wick on him.
gotta be a little quieter, okay? Yeah, and Brasso just Spartan kicking him in the chest, which
Dude,
sets
bink, smacks him
oh
with
yeah,
the brick.
brick, bro. Yeah, that was
Uh,
I watching that scene again. That guy's just like the helmet and face just kind of like flies right off.
and of
So
course, they don't have the snipers there. Chaos ensues. They start charging the riot shields, and then things for me have a low point of the episode.
well, yeah, because we see like Dedra, like she gets hit with a rock.
She's being dragged, man.
It goes down. Watching it the first time, I'm like, are these people going to really tear her
I
apart?
know.
That's what I was like. I was more concerned about how Ferrex would look as a people, as a society.
And the cool thing is, and this just shows strength as a production, is that, and we talked about subverting expectation already, as far as like thinking that ship was gonna blow up, and like they write these things where, and the way they shoot the show is like you feel like, oh my gosh, this might be the end of Daedra, like they might tear her apart.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
don't, but like you still, it's not so abundantly clear that she's not gonna get torn apart here, and
No,
I got so brought into to the moment, and then of course,
no. Yeah, well, Cyril saves the day. He grabs a gun, puts it to her back, goes, "Turn here, go here," and
uh,
brings her into a little secluded spot.
I was
And she
punching
tries
the
to like
air.
she like turns around to like try to defend herself. She looks at him and he's like, "It's me, it's it's me, you know me, it's Sarah." She's like, "I know who you are, dummy." And dude, like, no lie, I'm smiling thinking about you watching this scene, and I go, "Kiss!"
Dude, I was like
Like,
reliving.
"Kiss!"
I don't know what they just have it out for me. I was reliving like Ray and Kylo again, and I'm like, oh no, because I remember being in the theater for that the first showing, and like I remember there's like some people in front of me like yes, and at the same time like no,
This is opposite
and
sides
I'm
of the
like, oh
spectrum on
my
that.
god, again! I'm like, please don't kiss. I was just like, no, come on, y'all. And
Yes.
now we can look forward to Cyril and Daedra meeting Cyril's mom and having cereal.
Yes. Hashtag Cedra.
Cedra, there
Hashtag
we go.
yeah, I was, I mean, disappointed that, like, no one died, but I'm
Yeah,
glad it's both together. Like, it still works for me. I think you could have cut that anyways. Cyril
it's
dying,
yeah.
Dedra dying, alive, like, I think it would work
It's almost
regardless.
like I'll just say similar to like how I feel with Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy of it.
Mhm.
I'm not a book reader for Lord of the Rings or anything, but and I love those movies. It
Yeah.
always feels off to me that no one died. But like no one. I know
Boromir
like
died.
I mean yeah, Boromir dies. But I'm talking like Legolas, Gimli, like
Sure, sure, sure.
Aragorn, like Gandalf, and all the
Somewhat like a
hobbits.
bigger
They all live.
yeah.
But it still works. Like it still works.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
part of me
that
is
works.
like someone probably should have died here, but it still works very well, and that's kind of how I feel with this finale. Is that maybe if someone significant died, I would have given it a 10. I don't know, but I I still love it, and still think it all works. I don't feel like I was left um wanting.
Yeah.
I feel very satisfied by the finale.
Right.
But sometimes like with so much chaos going on, like someone probably should have. But
Yeah, I think though some of the characters are too tied to Cassian, so it
I
would be
yeah,
like they would have to have a moment with him.
which is
I think
fair.
dying away from him would be a little not
Hey,
enough.
Cyril could have died.
So he could have,
He
but
could
again,
have.
he's second billing in my
He's.
opinion
I'll give
on
him
this
the.
show,
Let me see.
unfortunately.
I'll give him the
Well, I mean,
six,
the way
but
they introduced
I
everything,
know.
they
I
introduced
know.
like the foil to Cassian.
Cyril.
This all started with the bomb throw too, by the
It
way. Well, I
did.
mean, not the bomb throw,
The
but it
bomb.
escalated with the bomb
Yeah.
and just everything else just exploding,
Yeah.
which takes out Naruchi. Um, Zan gets shot. But one of the things I like is the overhead shot of Vel running into the fray. It reminded me of Ben Affleck in Justice League when
Oh
he runs in,
yeah.
which was cool. I mean, outside of all the other terribleness
Sure.
of
Sure.
Justice League,
Sure.
but Vel running into into there was pretty dope.
And see, this is such a beautiful thing because with Andor, there's all these awesome scenes that I love and I'll remember, like, that overhead shot of Vel running in. And it
Mm,
does make me think to something, and I'm just going to use this example again, episode 9, that there's a lot of scenes that I love and there's a lot that I don't. And so it's like I
yeah,
attach to those things I love. But with
yeah,
this, it's like there's scenes that I love and all the stuff in between I love too. I like
yeah,
it all
yeah.
so good. Um,
There's not too much I don't like,
yeah.
I mean, that's why it's a 9 to 5 in this,
Yeah.
and it doesn't break, and the immersion isn't broken. Like I think one of my just outside of Andor with Mandalorian, there's a lot of things that break the immersion for me.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
wish they treated it a little bit different um, in certain ways,
Yeah.
but in this, it's like everyone has a purpose, everyone has a meaning, and everyone's acting for the most part pretty intelligent. These characters that we're watching on screen.
And
Um,
the thing with Andor too is that, um, I mean, I know we mentioned it, but like even the characters who have very, very minimal screen time,
mhm.
they're given a lot to work with, and the actors themselves are really doing a great job. That it doesn't matter if you have 5 minutes of screen time, 20, 30, like every single character who's given like dialogue and lines to work with, they're leaving a mark, and that's not necessarily the case with most things, or a lot of things, even in Star Wars, and uh, I don't know. I think it's definitely an achievement. I think that the show is an achievement as a whole. Um, like you said, I think it could be if you rebranded this show as something else. I obviously you'd have to change things, but if it was just like its own political like sci-fi thriller thing, um, I think it would be massive hit, probably a cult hit thing, but I think this show is awesome. You don't have to be a fan to watch it and enjoy
No.
it. I love that example you used, calling it like it's essentially like this Winter Soldier of Star Wars. If
Yeah.
you compared it, I think that is so accurate, and
Mhm.
it is it's definitely very welcome, and I welcome more. And if Tony Gilroy wants to do anything else, give it to him. I don't care. Uh,
Please. Please, Tony.
these are the things that you look at. Obviously, some people are known for subverting expectations. I know Damon Lindelof was supposed to be writing a Star Wars movie and he recently left. But I was most excited for that out of all the movies they've announced because of what he did with Watchmen, which is just, I love it to
Yeah.
death. Um,
Watchmen is an amazing show.
it is. I can't even quantify how good that show is. Like every episode, and that's how I felt with Andor. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
every
That's
single
literally like
episode.
right there.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like with Watchmen, I've read it. I've seen the Snyder movie. I'm not like a die-hard Watchmen fan. I'm a fan of it, but I didn't know that this show, like a Watchmen show, was going to do as much for me as that did. And I feel like this show could do that for people who aren't like massive Star Wars fans, and they're just like, I like it, like it's good.
Right.
I'm just kind of casual, but when you watch this show, it just feels like it's of a higher standard in a lot of
Yeah, no,
ways.
100%. And that's the thing is like I think also too because Star Wars is so huge, it's a platform more than like a movie or a show.
Yeah,
And people go to Star Wars for different reasons. And I kind of understand why people don't enjoy this show because like I said, what I like, there's no lightsabers, it's dialogue, it's story heavy, it's espionage, it's character motivation. People are like they want their aliens, they want their lightsabers, they want their blasters, they want they're like people come to these things with different
yeah,
expectations. And if they're not getting that, I could see why they would drop off. But for me, this is like these characters, they're like chewing up the scenery, they're giving they're acting like, they're trying to win awards here,
yeah.
they're all in. And I love that. I love that because it's I mean, just to start the kind of acting we got in the prequels, it's not as good. The
Yeah.
dialogue is not as good, and it doesn't mean as much. And just getting this is such a treat. Like if Star Wars ended here, I would be I would be good. Like we got nothing else Star Wars. I'm like, that's
I'm
fine.
uh I'm not gonna co-sign that camp for myself, but I get it, and I think that you're so right. And I'm so glad that we're in a place where we can get both. We can get multiple things.
Yes.
We have the Mandalorian.
Right.
And the
Exactly.
good thing too is that like say what you want about the Disney era of Star Wars, but we're getting so much content that even though like something like Visions, I wasn't a big Visions fan, but it's
Right.
okay because I still have the Bad Batch and I still have the
Right.
Clone Wars and Andor and Mandalorian. I'm sure there's someone who so I'm sure there's someone who hates Andor and doesn't like Andor, but they still have the
All the time.
Mandalorian and the Bad
Right.
Batch and all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
do think that hopefully there's still going to be enough room for all these things to exist.
No,
Uh,
yeah,
and yeah,
like, to that point, like, I was even telling someone, like, talking about or Cynthia actually talking about the live action shows. I'm like, I love Andor, I love Boba Fett, I like Visions. And we were on opposite sides of the spectrum on that, and
yeah,
like, and for everyone to have like a piece of Star Wars for themselves, what they personally like, and there still be more because even there's comic books that I've never read. There's books. You throw in Galaxy's Edge on
yeah.
top of that Halcyon that a lot of us haven't been to, but people have. So it's like there's so much. Like I said, it's more of a platform, more of a I don't know what other word to
It's
use.
it's like a giant. It's the only thing where um everything is connected through so many mediums in such a way because
Mhm.
like Marvel of course there's comics and things like that but
Right,
they're not all like it's not like the Marvel comics are tied to the Marvel movies which are
right,
tied to like Marvel TV shows and animated stuff. It's
right.
like with Star Wars at least it's all tied together to one degree or another. I will say I used to read every novel and like I
Yeah,
tried to read all the comics that came out to a point. Then I kind of fell off and now I only read certain ones because it doesn't seem to matter as much at all as
yeah.
much as because like originally like it's all gonna be connected, it's all gonna matter, read the books, it's all gonna come to and it doesn't, which is fine.
It's fine.
But yeah, and to go on a quick side tangent, I know James Gunn took over DC, and he was talking about, he's actually more inspired by Star Wars than by Marvel as far as his plan
Mm.
because he's trying to make one cohesive arc story between animation, comics, books,
Yeah.
games, movies, and that's something that obviously is super ambitious to try and
It's
do.
a
But
lot.
Star Wars has been doing that for so long that it's just embedded in what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that no matter what, I think that this great sign. We're gonna get more Andor. Andor, hopefully, and that's the thing with Star Wars. It's gonna inspire the next generation of Star Wars storytellers, and hopefully, people who went from I was inspired by the original trilogy. You hear
Right.
filmmakers say that all the time. Then we're gonna get this new batch of filmmakers and creatives who were inspired by the original trilogy. I mean the
Right. The
prequels,
prequel.
and
Yeah,
then Andor is such a thing that it's yeah people are gonna be inspired by it. Um,
for sure.
yeah, I'm excited to see what happens because of that.
Yeah. No, I think it can only go up,
Yeah,
like it's only gonna be that much more better. Like, because it's like we've already did it once, and I mean, even with the Mandalorian show, like showing the Pershing stuff, I think that's like almost a one to one. They're like, oh, we can actually be kind of like dark and
yeah,
test the waters out here. I love that. I love that. So going closer to the end of the episode, we touched on it before. Cassian gets Bix on the ship, Brasso, Wilmond,
yep.
one of the daughters of Ferrex, B2, and I'm like, is this a death? Is this a little suicide, a
You guys,
little death ship
it's a
over here? But
trap. It's a trap.
yeah, but fortunately, they safely fly off, so I
Yeah,
was happy about that. Um, one person who wasn't was oh, okay, we'll see you later. Have fun, okay? I love you. Um, the Pelga, the
yeah.
shipyard guy, doesn't make
Oh
it, but
yeah,
I'm wondering if he's gonna get captured and interrogated for everything to
yeah. I
kind of
wouldn't be surprised. When when it comes to that moment though, yeah, I'm like, man, they're really as much as I keep saying I would like someone to kick the bucket, I am excited because I think that Bix is a character specifically that I really want to see more of. I know she was
yeah,
sidelined to being tortured most of this like second half of this season, and so acting wise, she killed it. And
yeah,
I think she just displays everything you want in like a rebel, and I think that I would love to see more of her and Cassian because I mean, the honest truth is we don't see a whole lot of them together. We don't see a whole lot of him and Brasso together. The people that he's closest, we don't see them together a lot. We know that we know that they have these bonds and things, but I would love to see how they kind of end up folding back in together in the future seasons,
yeah,
or future season, I guess,
yeah,
singular.
future.
But I really do want more. Like Marva, I want more of. I'm sure we can do a comic or a book.
Mhm.
And then Bix, I want more of also in any kind of
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Bix survives past Rogue One, because I
Yeah,
mean, people
that
do, so she doesn't necessarily have to die. Neither does Brasso. Like more.
you're right. They don't have to Rogue One the entire cast.
Yeah, they don't have to Rogue One this entire cast. They might not even be anywhere near. I mean, I'm hoping that they're rebellion, but it would
Yeah,
be cool to see them like pop up in the Mandalorian or Ahsoka.
it's a great point. Yeah,
I mean, because it's still within
or
20ish,
even
20.
if I don't know. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
They'd be old. They'd be older, but there's more stories to be told within the original trilogy.
Wouldn't that be
Um,
something though? It would be cool to just yeah, it would be nice connective tissue to see
about
them cross over.
Brasso and Fix encountering Cal Kestis in some live
I
action.
was thinking about that too, but my only thing, I guess you're right. So this took place what like
This 5 years
5 years
before.
before. Yeah,
Well, I mean, we're further than 5 years.
yeah. So we're gonna be leading up,
I think it was
every
6 Y.
yeah.
So yeah, and then the season 2 is like 5 years, or it leads right up to Rogue One, which is right when they hand off to Leia New
All I'm
Hope. So,
saying, and I feel like I'm cursing myself
oh
saying it on here, but I just if Cal Kestis still alive after the events of just like A New Hope, I will be upset. But I will be upset. Uh
He could be.
I
I
won't.
mean,
I can throw. I might throw a fit. I don't know. I'm not really a fit thrower, but maybe that'll be the day.
I
Uh,
mean, I can see I can see ugh, this is such a tangent, but like I can see them like severing force connections to go away from it to protect themselves.
I would rip
Him
my
and
hair out.
I don't know. I just the whole
You're right
rhetoric of
though. I
the
can
whole
see it.
Jedi surviving after all of the movies is quite problematic. But I mean,
Yeah,
who knows?
it's who knows. You're right.
Even in I could see a lot of these guys popping up in a Kenobi season 2. But
That's another thing that I can't believe that these words are coming out of my mouth. I don't want a season two of Kenobi at all. Um,
same makes sense. It doesn't really make sense,
no, it does
but
not.
it doesn't really.
Let it
Let
die.
the past.
Underwhelming. Didn't like it, but it's okay because I still have plenty that I do love, and I hope that if they do make a second season, I hope it's much better. And I hope a lot of things, but I hope they don't. I hope they let the character rest. Um, make another story, make another character. I don't know.
Just a couple of notes that we see Moff one more time with her family, and Lita seeing the little boy.
Oh yeah,
And she's super all for that. She's like, yeah. She's
I
like
know.
traditional girl over here. Um, and then Mosk is alone on Ferrix. You know, we don't know what his fate is there. Um,
Oh,
and
we
then
forgot to touch on Cassian too.
yeah, Cassian finding Luthen's ship and telling him to kill me or take
Take
me
me
in.
in, yeah.
And Luthen's like,
Little.
yeah, I got him. I got him.
All part of
Um,
the plan.
all part of the plan. That's how I planned it. Um, and then even the Stinger. They were on Narkina 5. They were
Oh my
building
gosh.
parts
You
to the
called
satellite.
that. You called that one. Yes, sir. On it. Um,
Yeah.
Thane. You know, damn.
It's
It's just like
just so cool. I mean, it was cool though seeing
a
him like
great
the robot.
shot.
It's so cool.
It's a really great shot. Um, yeah, that one was painful. But it was like as soon as man, I was thinking about you too. I'm like, he called this one. But oh, those sort of things add just keep adding and adding and adding on to the character of Andor and just Rogue One in general. And
Yeah.
I know that this next season is going to be so interesting to see. I mean, I trust them, but it's going to be a lot to go like year by year by year by year, every like 3 episodes or whatever they end up doing.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's
Obviously,
gonna be a little jarring. I hope they can like pull it off well.
me too. Like I trust them. Yeah, I have no reason not to at this point.
Yeah.
But and I did watch Chernobyl, and that thing is a hard watch. It's very good though. Um,
Yeah, I didn't finish it. I think I went through like half of the season.
yeah, there's like a scene where they're putting some animals down and like it's
The part that kills me is even when it starts and there's like people outside and they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at all the
yeah, dude. Look at these radiation flakes.
the snowflakes."
But, but yeah, I trust him. I'll give him the keys to my heart here. Season two, and that's the great thing for me. Similar to how I feel with a lot of things. Um, Again, I'm gonna reference the sequel trilogy. Episode
Please.
7 is one of the things I hold dearest to my heart. I would die for that movie. Um, and like episode 8 and 9, I like to varying degrees or dislike to varying degrees. And
Yeah.
sure, I know a lot of people say that discredits what 7 is to them, but to me, I will always love 7. So even if by some random, terrible instance season 2 is not good, which I don't expect,
Oh,
but
no.
if it
Yeah.
is, I will always love season 1.
Oh, of
It
course.
will always be really, really something special.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, even that note, I was like watching the show was great. But I think it cements it for me because this is where we actually do the podcast. We actually did like each episode, broke it down,
Yeah,
jokes, a lot of insight um into the show because like a lot of I don't have that many Star Wars friends or even people who dissect the show the way you do or the way even I do, and just catching these little things and things that we missed. I think it's been it makes the experience more enjoyable just having the conversation about the show and even just the people watching here and some of the friends that I made from watching the show. It's been super fun ride.
You know
And
what?
so
That is a beautiful point. I think that my favorite part of Andor has been becoming good friends with you, man. I
oh
mean
yeah,
that and that's something that I've never, I've made YouTube videos and I've tried to do the whole podcast thing to a degree, but like it was all with like, I mean, my brother, like my homie G, shout out my homie G, that's my guy. We
yeah,
went to our first celebration together.
nice.
But but this has been something like I met you, I met Sylvia through this, but like these, we finally finished, which is great because I think of there's have you seen The Nice Guys with
It's been a
Ryan
while. It's been
Ryan
a while.
Gosling, and in the
Yeah.
beginning he's talking about, he's like, my ex-wife, she always called me a guy that like she said I drove nails halfway in. Like I never finished driving nail through. And as like we never finished, the series, I'm like, man, sometimes I would just be up at night and I'm like, maybe I'm that guy right now, which is
Yeah, yeah.
okay. But I'm so glad that we finally got to finish this. And this is not a bookend. This is a
No.
um, continuation. We have a lot more stuff to make. My goal right now is to stick to YouTube and do it because last
Do it.
year when I did my celebration stuff, which was awesome, I love
Yeah.
doing that.
That's how
And
I
I met,
found your channel.
yeah, and I met so many great people. I met you. Um, and then I was like, I'm gonna keep making content, and then I didn't. And then Andor came along, and I'm like, okay, back on the horse, making
Yeah.
these Andor reviews, and then I stopped. And
Right.
now we're kicking back in, and I'm just really, really
Yeah.
trying. And it's, I
No,
just
man.
want to thank you for, being my partner in crime here. And
Co-pilot, man, on this junk ship that we got going on. No, for sure. I mean, I'm trying to do the same path. I mean, we love the show so much. I think it's one of those things. Like, I don't finish a lot of video games. I think there's a lot of people do. They have a
yeah,
big backlog, and sometimes the feeling is like I don't want it to end.
yeah,
And I felt like it was kind of with this. Like we didn't really want it to end and put a little bow on it, but I'm like, we gotta finish it out.
we
This
do.
episode 12, we have to talk about it. Um, and so better late than never, in my opinion. And I think um, people should still expect content from your channel, from my growing one. It was even funny, like I was planning to do a Mandalorian rewatch, and then all of a sudden Mandalorian season 3 is out already, and I'm like, that
Dude,
just happened really
I
fast.
do really want to do a show with you though, that I know we've talked about it a million times, but just
Yeah.
like, and you even talked about it here, just
Mhm.
ranking everything, like just rank everything, because I love, I mean, before we got on the air today, we talked for like an hour or two or whatever it was, and just having that sort of free form back and forth,
Yeah.
I love it. um I think that this is great because once we finally bookended this, we can, I can tell my friends, if, hey, you want to watch Andor,
Watch our review.
watch our reviews, see what you think. Because a lot of times, I know, we all have friends who will watch things, and like I have a couple friends who aren't as like into it as I am, and then it's like, we'll have a conversation about it after. But I think this is a great thing that we're doing, and I think that hopefully we can do more. I've been seeing a lot of movies. I've been trying to get back into the theater a lot, trying to see a
Yeah.
lot, and hopefully I can start reviewing those. But what are your any closing thoughts on?
Okay. So I agree with you. We're gonna do a ranking thing. We should probably just start with the movies because that's the
Yeah, we'll
smallest
start with
time
that.
thing. I definitely want to do. My plans are. I still want to do a Mandalorian rewatch. Um, you're welcome to do it with me. I definitely want to do a Rebels rewatch. I'm challenging Cynthia to do it with me because she has very bad thoughts about Rebels,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
on the other side. So we have like a
yeah.
dual.
We all three need to finally get together on a video for
We have
sure.
to do, yeah, we have to do one of those. Um, but I want one thing that I want to do. We got to do the fit check. You're all decked out right now. Let's start with you.
All
What
right,
you got?
so yeah, so I got this little light Star Wars. I don't know if you call it a jacket or what. It's pretty basic,
Letterman?
just gray. Got some kind of like a, yeah, like a Letterman varsity kind of thing. Got the Rogue One shirt.
One. Nice, 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 nice.
And then of course got my Jedi beanie here. I got
Yeah,
before episode 9. I think I got it at box lunch. This one I got at Rogue One when I went to see it, and
nice.
this someone got for me for Christmas or something. But
Very nice. Yeah.
I'm excited though because one thing I will shout out from the heavens: if you guys are not following my guy Parade, specifically on Fridays, you're
Oh yeah.
missing out. But you can talk
Eric,
on that. But let's see what you got.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing back the old orange rebellion
Yes,
orange,
sir.
and then I got my
Okay.
Twin Suns N1 Starfighter there from Shirt Punch, and then I'm actually rocking a little Orbesh decoder from my homie Billy Maddox on Instagram. He makes these, sells these online, and then I was wearing. I actually wear this quite often. It's my a Batu coin.
Ooh,
Um, it's one of the they actually have them. It's a gift card. Um,
that's
I
pretty
don't know if
tight.
you know
Didn't know that.
about.
No.
They have a coin. It's a Batu. Oh man, I'm misremembering the name of it. But you buy one, and you actually have to load it up with like $100. But it's Disneyland, so you're gonna spend
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna spend it.
They usually have a barcode on the back, so you actually use the coin as a gift card. And you just
What?
pay for
That is
everything. Yeah,
awesome. I did not know about that.
yeah. So I actually bought this little holder to
Yeah.
wear it like a dog tag, and
Wait,
then I
did they
just bought
have that there? The holder?
holders. No, I had to buy this on.
Look.
Yeah, I bought it on Etsy, and then I just put a little leather strapping, but it broke just now. I have more, but it happens.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I bought. This is actually they're actually silver, but
Yeah.
my coin is copper. I bought a set on Etsy of a gold, a silver, and a bronze, and so I change it out every once in a while. But
I
these are
not know about that.
yeah, yeah. When I went to Disneyland in 2020, uh, I was like, "Give me the coin, and then let's just cash it out." And yeah, just
Yeah.
and then you could reload it. So I think I have two. Um, but if you just want one, I think it's like $5 and then plus 100.
I see.
Um,
$5 for the actual.
$5 for the actual coin,
Yeah.
but yeah, you have to load it with $100. But it's a pretty fun souvenir. Um,
Heck yeah, man. I mean, if you go into, is it like in Doc Ondar's shop, like the
you could just go downtown Disney.
really
Have them at downtown Disney. Yeah,
sweet.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if
yeah.
I walk in there, I'm not spending less than $100. Like
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah. You could I think I might have bought, like, 2 at one point just to buy the lightsabers,
yeah.
right? So, it's
That's
just kinda paid
that's a
for itself.
great heads up. That's a great heads up move because if you're already gonna spend money, you might as well get something else out of it. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the gift card is for the entire park.
even better. Yeah,
So, if you're gonna just buy food, you might
you
as well
are.
just treat
That's actually
someone.
really good to know. That's good
Yeah,
to
nice
know. You want to know a
nice little
random thing I bought when I went last time?
thing showing
Um,
off.
I on Twitch my name is Uncle Sheev, but I remember I was in Doc Under's shop and there's like these little no one's looking at them. There's little rocks and I'm like, hey are those rocks for sale? The guy's like, yeah, yes, and he's like, yes they are. I'm like, oh cool, can I get a bunch of them? They're just like
Oh,
little,
nice.
it's just like a little pebble
Oh, that's
with
cool.
the Palpatine's face on the back. They have like let
Did
the
you
hate flow through you on different sayings.
oh,
Yeah,
did they have to, did you actually have to buy it?
I did.
How much did they charge you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Guy's just,
I
like,
don't know.
pocketing money. He's just
Dude,
like,
I bought like 6 of them. They're all
"Nice."
different, and like some of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
have
yeah.
like the like the Jedi insignia, and like um, there's one right here that is also Sheev, but power, unlimited power. It's just like it's
Dude, that's
just cool
cool.
little things, but
Yeah.
I love that place.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm hoping to go back. I might be going back this summer.
Ooh,
'Cause I think did I tell you that I was like, I might oh, yeah, yeah, I said
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be around San Diego.
San Diego,
So I was considering going to Galaxy's Edge because my buddy has never been.
gotta
I was
go.
like, we might have to change that." So I might have to take him. Oh, and so speaking of that, I was like, "We gotta dress up a little bit if you're gonna go for your first time so you feel like you're in world." Going back to my post on Instagram, you're referring to Ferrex Fridays. I
Yes,
didn't start that. Someone else did. Well, Billy might have. Um, but everyone who it's not really full cosplay, it's more Disney bounding. And so everyone just kind of on Fridays posts their like Disney bounds of how they dress, almost like normal attire, everyday stuff on Fridays with a Star Wars theme going on. And there's been quite a few inspirational stuff. I personally, I like getting my Star Wars attire stuff like this. I got from a thrift store, so not spending like breaking the bank. But I bought I bought this hat. This one I posted it
sweet. Yeah,
on. This is actually made by Gabbercrate or Gabbercrete on Instagram. She is a awesome seamstress. She makes pretty cool um,
Yeah,
Disney
like,
bound Star Wars attire,
ooh,
and it's very nice quality.
we'll definitely link that below for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can even check when you check my Instagram, it links to her page on the things that I buy from her.
And I'm telling
And
you
it
guys, he's been killing it,
thanks, man.
killing it.
Yeah, I did a little background on the last one. I was like, oh, I kind of like doing it. It was fairly easy. Like making the thumbnail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, but yeah, since I'm not doing full cosplay like I used to, this has been like a nice little side thing to be involved with and have stuff to post on my Instagram. Um, Especially just keeping the Andor fire alive with that group. Has been really fun.
yeah.
Um,
I just I don't know. I'm envious. I think it's fantastic. I get excited every Friday. I get to see, and it's cool because you've been posting, other people, for the Ferrex
mhm.
Friday stuff, and I know I follow Billy too because of you, and
Yeah,
like he posts a lot of stuff. He's really on it, and like that the bracelet you have, I want to get one myself. It's just
yeah.
like, I mean, it's nice, it's cool, it's kind of low key, but
Hmm.
I think it's really good what you guys are doing over there, and like hopefully the Ferrex Friday movement keeps building. I know you guys
Yeah,
you have like your own squadron or something going,
yeah.
kind
So
of like
Billy's
in yeah. I think that's
Billy's
awesome.
Burgundy Squadron. So he sent me these stickers. So I have this one on my water bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like a little fun little group
It's
things.
like your
It's
own
not
like built-in community within the community.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's fun. I mean, hopefully I see these guys when I go to like Celebration next time.
yeah,
Billy's in London now, so he's going to London, the London Celebration. I hope he makes it back to the States for in the future. But even one of the other guys just randomly posted that they're close to where I live. He's in the Bay Area. I'm in Sacramento, and I was like, "Oh, we're in the same state. Like that's not too far."
yeah,
If he's like, "Oh, yeah, let me know if anything Star Wars happens." So we'll definitely get with him. But yeah, if you want to be involved, check out the hashtag, check out my page. Um, Again, it doesn't take much to post a picture and just kind of feel the vibes of the community. My next one will probably be more like either scoundrel specific or Jedi. I'm trying to decide
yeah.
when I do my next one, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
It's just really nice because it's such a. I know we're closing up here, but very welcoming, and like for me
Mhm.
myself, like that would be getting out of my comfort zone a bit. But I think that that's not a bad thing, and I think that seeing you guys posting these every Friday, it's just a nice reminder that not everything is toxic out there. Not everything is
Yeah,
cutthroat, and
for sure.
I think it's been awesome. The fact that it was spawned, at least partially from Andor and all
Yeah,
that is awesome.
yeah.
So I think that's great.
Well, just like the how creative people are.
Yeah,
Even in their photos, like how like some of them do like some like really great storytelling just with the photos and in the captions, they're like they make a character involved. I mean, I just did a little for mine, just because I
I
felt
know.
like I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,"
in the caption, yeah, it's really
yeah.
good.
So, having like creative outlets like that, and like you said, toxic. I mean, there was even speaking of toxic, there was a little thing saw on Instagram the other night where I think it was some stormtroopers 501st guys were making fun of this like Halo guy, and they're like, "Oh, okay, why is he trying to be a part of our thing?" And it's like it's cosplay. Everyone should
Yeah,
do it. So it happens, but not everyone's like that. This is just a fun little internet thing. There's no group, no
yeah.
sign up.
It's not. We
So
don't got an internal government keeping it
yeah,
from you.
yeah. 'Cause, like some of the groups they get a little gatekeepy when I mean
For
it
sure.
makes sense the quality that they want to have in the group, but at the
Yeah,
same you don't want to really if shoot down people's creativity. And it does feel more like it kind of feels like elitism sometimes,
I agree.
um, which is fine.
But this is cool. What you
I
guys are
gotta-
doing is nice because I mean it doesn't seem to matter like if you know how great or how um you know everybody is doing their own thing, and it's not like you have to have this X certain shade of orange, or
right.
just having fun and being creative. Um and I'm finding all kinds of things that I would have never known about, like um
And,
your friend who makes the seamstress who's making these different hats and things.
right.
That's something I would definitely buy, and like the
Yeah.
bracelet, even if I'm not going full in on like mounting and whatnot. It's just cool accessories that like I would definitely like to wear
Yeah,
around.
I mean, and this is mine. It's actually not originally a bracelet. It's actually like provides a chain with it, so you can actually. It's just more of a necklace.
Yeah,
He does this one's the Rebel one. He does a Mandalorian one, an Empire one, um, and it's just something simple you can wear and just reminds you of the thing you love. So yeah,
absolutely. But I'm gonna lead us out here. I
for sure.
appreciate going into all that. I'm probably gonna piece out this piece of the video on its own also, just to be its own thing.
Yeah,
Hopefully post on TikTok. That's something I've been saying for a long time. When I first made a TikTok, there was a couple Star Wars people who I met on TikTok,
yeah.
and none of us had any followers. I still don't, but they post all the time, and they have like awesome like followings of people who are just like
Nice.
very cool and positive. And I don't know any of their names offhand, so I don't want to
Sure.
say it wrong, but I will try and put it in the description.
Yeah,
Um, but it's just something that's inspiring, something that I always tell myself I'm going to do and I'm not. So this is just me trying to keep myself accountable. But as
for sure.
always, you can find me on Twitch at uncle_sheev. You can find me here, hopefully a lot more often. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm around. Uh,
Yeah,
and just hopefully we got more content. Whatever you guys want to see, let me know. Let me know. Let Parade know. Um,
definitely.
but I want to thank you for one being one of my favorite people for just keeping me motivated and going on this 12 episode adventure,
Oh,
and hopefully many more to come.
definitely. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube as well. ParadeReigner, ParadeReigner. I'm sure it'll be in the description below this video. Yeah, definitely comment us. Definitely reach out. We're gonna do more content. I'm gonna hold Eli accountable. We're gonna do the next thing we're gonna do is the celebrations, reactions to the things we hear, all the news, because that's gonna be a lot to talk about.
It's gonna be a lot.
Maybe not necessarily record next week, but it'll definitely come out very soon after celebrations happens. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side.
Yeah, and so just to say once more, we're definitely gonna make like a video or videos for celebration. Depending on my schedule, I may make like a series of just short reactionary videos to things that come out. But I hope. So hopefully we're gonna have a lot of content, both long form and short form.
Yeah, definitely.
But be on the lookout. I thank you guys for being
Yeah.
on this journey with us. What do you got?
One more thing, Eli. This has been a great experience doing the show with you. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel for my first YouTube video without you. You've been great. You're fantastic. A pleasure to talk to about this. I can't think of anyone more that I like to pick my brain with Star Wars than you. And I'm glad that you did make those celebration videos where when I was going, what is it, last year,
Yeah,
trying to figure out what my celebration was going to be like, and for you to put some of that stuff together, especially around weird COVID times.
it's weird.
I'm glad we were able to figure that out. Oh, I thought you left. I'm almost done, so I'll see you later. Okay. All right. Have fun. Love you. Um, but yeah, love you guys. Love you, Eli. Appreciate it, man. This has been amazing, this Andor review, and we'll definitely do this for season 2.
Yeah,
You can count
100%,
on. You can count on.
100%.
Yes, I do like your hair.
I like your hair too, man. But yeah, I mean that means a lot to me. That means a whole lot to me. So thank you for that. You guys, we've had so many conversations outside of Star Wars too, just talking about movies in general.
We might have
It's
to do a movie podcast.
we might have to, because like some of my favorite conversations I've ever had about movies have been with this man. But the last thing I'll say, and the crazy thing is, I've been thinking about saying something for like 5 minutes, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have had moments to talk, and I keep forgetting. Uh, what the heck? Oh my gosh,
You just forget it.
dude! I just hit a. My mind just got wiped. But really,
Was
I
it about
think that it
Was
must.
it
It
about?
was about us. It was about. Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Um, I'm gonna will this to existence. We've done it before. At some point, I don't know if it'll be soon. I don't know if it'll be down the line. Whatever the case, at some point, Parade and I will get together, and we will do something. Whether that's on a video, but we will be in the same room at some point, and I look forward to that day. I look
I
forward to
almost
that day.
I almost considered coming this weekend, but I was like that might be a little too soon, due to our schedules. But we will definitely get together. We'll plan something this year to get together and do something live.
I will say, never overestimate my schedule. My schedule is, if I'm not at work,
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
open.
Feel free.
My door will always be open for you, my friend.
No, we'll do a
But
live. We'll
yeah,
definitely do a in person. I'll bring my stuff if in case we need multiple more setup. But
yeah,
yeah, this has
dope.
been great. I hope everyone watching has appreciated this ride and coming along with us. I know it's been a long time coming. I know you guys have been wondering where episode 12 is, and we have it. And then please check out my channel once we do our on my channel my Andor season review
Yep.
second half
And I
because we
got
did.
and I got it all linked below. If you scroll down to the bottom of my channel, you should see his there. Um, it's like this is something that I can't wait to get back into. This has been the best. I've loved doing this. You know, it's like you get a high from being able just talking with you. It's great. So
Yeah, it's been
until next
excellent.
time, hopefully next time is much sooner than the last time.
Oh yeah, it
Uh,
will.
we will see you guys soon. May the force be with you. And
Punch you,
it's
Chewie.